and welcome to episode 8 of how to paint a reborn doll of color. We're painting our Eritrean friend Sarah after this reference photo, and we've already painted the head and started on painting the arms. But as you can see, the arms don't look like they match the head yet. So in this video I'm going to teach you how to bring some depth and realism to the arms and the head of the doll. But before we get started, please subscribe to our channel and like this video so more people can learn and see our videos. And we don't forget to do it in the end. So please do it now and we can continue with the video. And do you think the video is a lot of information for you, or do you just want to read a summary of the video when we're finished and go over all of the information and look back at all of the images? You can download our ebook. I made an ebook with all of the information in it. So let's get started. Let's get started on painting our arms and getting some real depth into them. We're going to start with the dark areas, and we're starting on the insides of the hands. So we're going over the dark areas that I've painted in here and that you can see in the reference photo. So we're starting with the dark creases. You will need 5% of brown earth with 95% of medium. And it's important to start out with your tiniest brush, since we're starting with the small creases. Let's try it on our translucency paper. Perfect. So we're starting with the small brown creases. Into all of the creases. And in between the fingers. Inside all of the creases and underneath the finger, and underneath those fingers as well, in between, and in between in here, and then the folds of the skin. Okay, and remember, under the nails, right under the cuticle, there's always some more darkness. Okay, so under the nails, on the top of the fingers, let's do the same with the other fingers as well. Just a bit of a glaze. Alright, we're using the same glaze for the creases on the other side of the hand. The creases of the fingers and in between the fingers. Grab your dry brush to blend if needed. And inside of the hand. Exactly. Well, let's go over the creases on top of the hand. And now grab our bigger brush, the rounded brush with the pointed tip, and let's make some more brown. And we're just going over the darkest areas. So the wrist, You can go up to the hand a little bit like that. And in the triangle, and then blend it out. And blend inside of the creases with your dry brush so that it's nice and even, the glaze. Okay, inside the other creases. And over the elbow and connect them. And then we're going to blend them out. And search for all the creases you can find. And then the armpit and the whole shoulder. I love the sound of the brush strokes. It's actually kind of calming to me. And then blend. Start at the edges because you don't want a stripe, you want to blend it. Alright, then the other arm. So when we are going to paint the red areas, it is time to start teaching a little bit about nails. But first, let's make our little glaze. 50% nails red with 50% Naphtol crimson. And then 95% of medium with 5% of paint. With 5% of paint. Okay, I'm repeating myself a lot, which I don't know if that is very annoying to listen to, but I'm sorry. This is my apology for repeating myself all the time. But they say repeating is the best teacher. So as you can see, the nails are not one color. They have a bluish color in it, a purplish color in it, and a white color. And as you can see, when you go towards the top of the nail, you can see white. And before the white, there is a darker color. As you can see, the lower half of the nails has a little bit of a purple to it and is darker than the upper half of the nails, except for a little stripe underneath the white of the nails. So we're going to start with pink because there is a little bit pink in all of the nails. If you want to paint a little half moon at the underside of the bottom half of the nail, like I have little half moons. You do this by just leaving the vinyl empty. So if you want that, you're going to leave that open and paint the rest of the nails like that. Since our reference photo doesn't have moons, we're going to skip them. So we're going to paint the whole nail pink. Just a little tiny glaze, barely visible, but that's okay. Do the same with the nails on the other hand. Now, before we switch to our bigger brush, we're going to do the inside of the hand. Just as shown on this picture. Inside of the hand. and blend the edges. And underneath the thumb. And then it's time for the fingertips. And the fingertips go all the way to the other side. All of the fingertips. And underneath the nails. And underneath the nails. Okay. And under the nails. Just like that. And the thumb. And underneath the nails. Now we're going to take the time to just paint the cuticles pink as well. Oh, just the cuticles, because we don't want them left out. And on the other hand as well. And we're going to paint the shadow of the knuckles. So the shadow of all of the places where the finger bends. And we're going to paint the knuckles too, these parts, because they are sticking out, which makes them colder and easier for blood to show up. Blend them nice. We're going to do the creases as well. All of the creases, we're going to paint them pink. All of the creases, we're going to paint them pink. When I'm a bit too comfortable, I sing. So I'm now exposing myself that I'm only really comfortable, and it's already lesson 8. But better late than never, right? Okay. So basically we're going all over all of the darker parts with red as well, because we are mixing our method with the primary method, and brown has red in it too. Okay, repeat the same thing on the other arm. So first the creases, then first the nails, then the red parts of the hand, then the creases, and the of course the fingertips, the shadows on the knuckles, and all of the dark parts. The same parts as we painted blue are going to have a red glaze on them as well. So repeat the whole process on the other arm too. So that is 1/3 of phthalo blue, 1/3 of nails red, and 1/3 of Neptune crimson. And that will make a beautiful purplish red. Let's try this color out or on our translucency paper. Nice, you can see that the color is a little bit red compared to when we made the color last time. So I'm going to add a little bit of blue. Let's try again. Yes, that's better. With tiny dots all over the inside of the hand, just tiny. Just tiny dots all over the inside of the hand. everywhere you can go. And then blend them out by dabbing them with your dry brush. And then turn around, dab or dot the rest of the hand. And don't forget the fingers. And the sides of the fingers, of course. Don't want to leave them hanging. Then grab your big brush and blend the fingers first. The fingers first, and then the rest of the hand. Check if everything is well blended. Alright, and then we're going to model the rest of the arm in the parts that we always use. We always separate our arms in these little parts, in 6 parts: the inside of the hand, the outside of the hand, the inside of the underarm and the outside of the underarm, and then the inside and the outside of the upper arm. So 6 parts, and we're going to do that again. So model and pounce it off. Right, nice. And then the other side. We can see how one layer of modeling makes such a difference in the realism and the depth of an arm. It's just crazy how this works. Some people don't model. Most people actually don't model like this, but they cut they cut holes in the sponge, and then they sponge all of the arm. But I want to have full control over where my modeling goes, how thick it is, and how far they are apart. So that is why I choose to model everything by hand and dab it on with a brush and a sponge, because it gives me control, and I love to have control. I mean, who doesn't? Am I right? Okay, the other side. Weeps. And remember that every time that you see the tiniest piece of dust or lint or hair sticking onto your doll, take it out with your wand tip. That's what they are for. Because our technique can be a little bit sticky, and which makes it very easy to paint, but we have to be very careful to not have a lint stick in there. Let us use our purple color just one more time over the red areas, of the hand, just for some extra depth. Okay, and the wrist. Exactly, just like that. And when we still have it, also over the elbow and inside of the elbow. And inside of the armpit and the shoulder. Okay, that's it for now, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to accentuate the dark parts with blue. As we saw earlier this episode, I explained about the nails. If you see They have a purple glaze, and since we already, and they have a purple color to them, and since we already added a pink glaze, we're going to add some blue, because pink with blue makes purple. So again, 5% of blue with 95% of medium, and as you see, I took way too much blue. Check it on the translucency paper. Nice and pretty. First, we're going over all of the nails, giving the nails a bit of a purplish glaze and look to them. And no worries, it does look a little blue now, but it's going to come together in the end, I promise you. Alright, take the same glaze and we're going to go over all of the dark parts, just everything I made brown in here. Let's show you in here. All of the parts that I made blue are the dark parts, and we're going to do that on both of the arms and hands, but we're always starting with the hands. So first, over all of the creases. And I need you now tonight. Oh, I'm starting to sing again. Oopsie doopsie. All of the creases and under the nails, and blend them in between. So under the nails, under the nails, in the creases, all of the creases, and in there. So it will look like, almost like the baby is skinned, because we see all nice undertones and depth now, but the color is not yet what she is supposed to be in the end. But that is all a matter of trust the process. In the next video, we are going to add the color, the skin color. Okay, now we're getting our bigger brush and we're doing the wrist. We're painting the wrist. A little glaze over the wrist and down a little bit, and in all of the creases that you can find. And don't forget the triangle and inside of the hand. So in here, this glaze we did a little bit inside the hand as well. In the creases and on the elbow. I don't see it anymore. Exactly. And then blend it out. And the shoulder. And look how the arms are coming to life. Just with a little bit of a few glazes like this. Just with a few glazes like this, the arms will already look like they are alive. How amazing is that? Okay, and the last step for today is to go over with your wand tip and check for any tiny hairs or lint. And of course, repeat the same steps with your other arm. Wow, we've already started painting our arms, and I know they look a little bit like zombie arms right now with all of the veins and the red spots, but I will promise you it will get better. In the next video we're going to paint depth into the arms and they will look like real arms instead of doll arms. I'm super excited to work on that with you guys. If you want to see the reference pictures of the baby's hands and the arms to help you with the painting of your dolls, you can click in the link below to download the ebook. And I also have some more exercises there so you can practice recognizing the veins, recognizing the parts that are more pigmented and the parts that are less pigmented, and all the information will be written in there. So I would advise for you to download it. And also, if you want to be in a community of like-minded people, people who also want to learn how to make the most realistic baby dolls of color, you can be a part of our private Facebook group by clicking the link in the description. Next week we're going to work on depth. Will I see you there? Bye!